Prepare yourself
for a talk radio experience like no other.
Strap yourselves in and hold on.
He stands for truth. He stands for justice. He stands for what's right. This is the Alex Jones Show. Call Alex now, toll free, at 877-590-5525. Now live from Austin, Texas, here's Alex Jones.
All right, my friends, it is Sunday, the 13th of July, 2008. We're going to be live here for the next 2 hours. Bob Chapman, who has in the past been the biggest gold and silver broker in the world. He's also had the largest precious metals and financial newsletter in the world. He retired, came back, and again has one of the biggest in the world. He, of course, was also in Army intelligence before that and covert operations. He, of course, has been predicting a financial complete meltdown and a depression, a hyperinflationary depression in this country, along with Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, the father of Reaganomics, on my show. Joseph Stiglitz, Nobel Prize winner, former head of the World Bank, and, of course, the head of the New York Business School. These are the type of people, former White House analyst Richard Cook. By the way, let's get Cook back on this week, coming up on the weekday show, and they've all been saying the same thing. It's all by design to once and for all destroy the liberty and freedom in this country and make us debt channel slaves. Now, everything we've been talking about, you've heard me for about 5-6 years, hot and heavy, saying they are devaluing the dollar, they are devaluing the dollar, they are devaluing the dollar. I mean, I was freaking out when they devalued it 10% in 1 year. And now here we are with it devalued more than 60% globally. The fellow that owns one of the radio networks that syndicates the weekday show, Ted Anderson, took his fiancée down. He's got divorced and remarried. Took his fiancée down to Argentina, down in South America for a week. But I've been interviewing him while he's been down there. And they do not want to take dollars in Argentina, folks. And the dollar's always been king. And now in Europe, they don't want to take dollars. I've had family that's been over there. Foolish Americans go over to Europe and, you know, it costs $8 for a beer. And they think, oh, the Europeans have really got it bad, these poor schmucks. I saw a neocon with his website saying that. They don't understand. The Europeans aren't paying that in their currencies. It's the dollars. It's like if you have pesos in the past and tried to come up here and buy things. And if Americans could realize that the elites were devaluing our currency by design, and we have the IMF World Bank documents from March of 2002 that leaked with Joseph Stiglitz's departure from the World Bank, we could have stopped all this. That's why every show I warn you, I beg you, I plead, and I even walk up to reporters I know, and they on TV and radio, and they just say, Alex, the dollar's not devalued. We're not going to report that. And I can hand them a stack of foreign, Reuters, French news agency, Financial Times, and they just say, nope, that's not what's going on. There's been a problem with some mortgages, and that's why. And so, okay, hey, you want to let them totally destroy your financial future, then I'm going to get out of your way and just enjoy yourselves. I mean, the people of this country are willfully ignorant. You will hear nowhere on our media that they are devaluing the dollar. If I hear one more time that we are paying $4.20-something an average for a gallon of 87 octane unleaded, I'm gonna scream. But I know I'm gonna hear it. It's all I hear. It is not the speculation. It is that the dollar is imploding. 70+% of the cost increase. Remember, it doubled 5 years ago, and then it quadrupled. It's quadrupled in prices in 5 years. They're talking about another doubling by next summer, okay? And if they attack Iran, you can forget a year from now, you're going to be paying $8 a gallon within a month of that attack taking place. So let's go ahead and just go over some of what's happening right now. Run-on bank spells big trouble for U.S. Treasury. Now, I've got the Financial Times of London, I've got the City Morning Herald, I've got Reuters, I've got French news agency, all saying, and it's press releases from the Treasury Department, saying, please don't stop AAA rating our government bonds. Folks, third world countries get AAA rating on their bonds. And the world is now considering completely dumping the dollar in U.S. securities. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it will mean Road Warrior Death Race 2000, okay? I mean, if that happens, it will make 1929 Germany look like Valhalla. Heaven compared to what is going to happen. Now, if we don't politically address what's happening, the bankers will rape us to the wall. They will gut you. Forget shearing you. Sheep just get sheared. Doesn't hurt them in the summer, but they don't like it. You're being gutted, okay? You're not being sheared. You're being strung up like a pig by your hind legs, having your throat slit, and you're being cut up for bacon. There is one publication out of hundreds, and I have read hundreds since this happened Friday afternoon. Hundreds. I've spent 3 or 4 hours every day studying this. Only one U.S. publication told the truth. It is the Los Angeles Times. As much as I hate these gun-grabbing, open border-loving socialists, they occasionally will tell the truth. And it says here, when faith is frayed, and then it just gets into foreign governments are considering dumping the dollar. And it says this flare-up in the financial forest fire that is far beyond anything we've seen before, said Christopher Lowe, chief financial investment firm, FTN Financial in New York. See, I mean, all the analysts are saying this. She's just not allowed to be in our media. You can't tell the cattle what's going on. They might actually stampede and stop what's happening. And it is triggering worries that would have been unthinkable even a year ago, including the U.S. Treasury debt might lose its AAA credit grade because of heavy blows to the nation's financial health from the housing mess. So, one U.S. publication, one will just give you a little window into what we face. And I don't want to hear from all the cheerleaders out there that, well, Alex, we've just got to say everything's fine, because if we come out and say it isn't fine, confidence will be lost. This is a global system. The confidence has been lost, bozos. We have to have the government raise interest rates now. We have to say strong dollar policy now. We have to start tariffs now. And, of course, they will then try to blame that like they did with the smooth haulings thing. You know, as we were already going in, it took 6 months in 29 for the real depression to kick off. And the stock market went up and down like it is now, and there was a liquidity crisis. And then they put up the tariffs too late and then tried to blame it on that when it had nothing to do with it. So actually, I don't want having tariffs when we go into depression being blamed. So let's not do that so the yuppies can't say tariffs did it. Again, people will invest here if they know we're not going to be financially strip-mined and we're going to build industry and have a future and not just have a fiat currency. That's all the country has left is a fiat currency. That's all we had left financially. And let me tell you something, folks. The government is going to tax you at 80-something%. They're already saying it. The OECD is saying it. It doesn't matter what party comes in. You're not going to like what's about to happen. You better politically tell them now we're not going to pay back these debts, because these debts are owed to central banks that are private, that created these currencies and liquidity out of nothing. It is a monumental fraud. And they literally, the globalists, on our credit and our name, bought the infrastructure of the world. They're all in secure assets and commodities. Okay, and now everybody else is headed to the door. There's tens of trillions in U.S. notes, greenbacks, and securities out there. They're all dumping them as fast as they can into commodities. And that's the 25% increase you've seen in oil. That's the doubling you've seen in gold. That's all of that. That's why corn and grain, I mean, there's other factors that feed in, but the main reason that you're seeing commodities explode in price is that people are looking for safe havens to dump their dollars. And the big money even writes about this. I saw this a year ago in the Financial Times of London when the countrywide stuff and the Northern Rock and all this was just starting, about 10 months ago. And they said, we just better hope that institutional money and the wealthy, that means billionaires, can position our money where it isn't lost, because this implosion is so big it threatens to even bankrupt the elite. They so greedily raped us to the wall, because we are mindless chump schmucks in this country, that their greed has created an implosion black hole financially that threatens to even suck their greedy butts in. We'll talk to Bob Chapman and a lot more straight ahead. We'll get into Iran war news. Bush says he's green light for go, go, go. And boy, you better get ready for total implosion then. And I know you'll love it, because we're schmucks born to be raped.